I want, Hi, I wanted to give you a quick explanation of Essential Question 3, version 3 in the summer of 2011, and so this is the choice one. Let's start off with question number 1, which is just basically to fill in the blank on that internal rate of return that we have right there. And this is supposed to be a really simple calculation. All that you're doing is taking this minus 21 in time period 0, this 39 in time period 4, and then finding the interest rate that makes it so the present worth is 0. The key's pretty good on this because all that you're really doing right there is taking that $39 that's in the future, that 21 that you're actually paying for it, and you are raising it to the 1/4 power because the thing lasts 4 years. Subtracting 1, and what that gives you is 16.74% as a internal rate of return. And so mark that one right there. Question number 2 is essentially the one that asks about if you're doing those repeated purchases to get you up to 12 years. And so this is the one where your life of your asset is pretty important to you. And so what you're doing is finding the annual worth given these present worths that are already calculated for you. So in each one of the cases, what you do is, for example, asset A, you start with a present worth, that's $5.64. What you're doing is looking for A, given that you know P, the interest rate, which is going to be 10% in this case, and the life of the asset, which is 4. So it's not the 12 years, but it's just the life of the asset. Well, the resulting values are down here, and they're already calculated. Sorry about the rounding, but B should be the one that has the largest annual worth, is what you're looking for in this case. So largest annual worth, and so B is supposed to be the best one for question 2. When it comes around to question 3, this is the one about which one of these assets is best if you have no service requirements. In that case, this is a no calculation question. You're just looking for the one with the highest present worth. That's $6.39, and that's going to be asset C for you is the best one. The final question is about what happens when the minimum acceptable rate of return changes from 10% to 20%. Well, what that means for us is that all these present worth calculations can't be used, and you're stuck using all those internal rate of return calculations that are there. So what you're supposed to do is strike out all assets that have internal rates of return less than minimum acceptable. Well, D gets knocked out because it has an internal rate of return of only 14. A gets knocked out because that has an internal rate of return of only 16.74. And you're left with only assets B and C. Well, you start with the inexpensive asset, which is C, and you see if it makes sense to upgrade to B, which is the next most expensive asset. In order to see if it's a good idea, you check this B to C incremental internal rate of return, which is 78.84%. You find out that, yes, that's larger than 20%, and so you should upgrade to B. B ends up being the best asset. So this should be the explanation for essential question number 3. And let's see, this was version 3, I believe, in the summer of 2011.